Now we are ready. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making a beat for Snot and ASAP Rocky. Now these beats are super simple to make if you know what you're doing. So I'm going to give you guys all the keys you need to actually make these types of beats. And I'm also going to show you guys some cool sauce on kind of just how to like change up your beats and things that you can do to just make a simple beat like this a lot more dynamic and, you know, keep it from getting boring. I'm using a BPM of 155. This is a perfect BPM for these types of beats. It's a little bit faster paced, but it's going to create a really nice drum bounce once we add our drums and stuff like that. First thing you're gonna need is a vocal sample. So right here is the sample that I'm using to show you guys some cool like effects you can put, especially on vocals, to just make them sound better. So here's how it sounds with no effects. And all I've done to it is I've changed the pitch. Really important, if you do change the pitch, you want to make sure you're going down by hundreds, as that's going to be a full semitone. So if you just look in this upper left corner, you can see turn it down by 3 cents. In addition to that, I usually turn on Stretch Pro, which is important as it keeps your beats in key if you change up like the BPM and stuff like that. Now let's just chop it out real quick and then let's throw some effects on it. And it drops it right here. And so I just went in and just cut off this part right here. And so it's just gonna repeat a bunch of times, and then right before it drops in, it's gonna pause. And to make it sound a little bit smoother, I just went in right here and clicked on smooth bleeding. And that's just gonna eliminate any like kind of like popping noise. Now let's throw some effects on this to beef it up because it just sounds very dry. First effect is just some RC20. Just adds like a kind of like vintagey feel to it. Here's how it sounds with it. And then the next thing I'm adding is just some Valhalla vintage verb. This makes the sound bigger. Adding some thermal for just some distortion. Add some fresh air. This just kind of opens up the sound and makes it sound bigger. And I would say this made the biggest difference to the sound. Just cutting out some lows and some highs right here. And the last thing I'm doing right here, and this is just a good tip for vocals in general, if you just want your vocals to sound more full or the vocal sample you're using. Basically what I'm doing right here is I'm routing this to these tracks right here. So all you'll do to do that is click right here and then right click on each of these and just go to route to this track, not route to this track only, it just has to be route to this track. And you do that for both of these. And then one, you're gonna pan all the way to the left, and the other, you're gonna pan all the way to the right. And all this is doing is it's putting the vocals from right here onto both of these tracks, and it's panning it to the left ear and the right ear. And then with this sound being in the middle, just makes it a lot more full because it's, you know, kind of hitting from every direction. Versus it off. So it just sounds a lot more full. I just added another like vocal chop and it sounds pretty dope, so let me just play it. And all I did to do that was I took this sample right here, selected Make Unique, added a stereo imager to push the sound out all the way, and I added some more reverb, but this time I left a ton of reverb on it just to make it so the sounds were like contrasting well. Then all I did right here is I noticed that there was like an empty space right here. Rather than just having it line up perfectly right here, I just move this down right here. So now let's add some drums. I'm gonna show you guys how to do a really dope change up. And also I'm just using drums from my drum kit Graffiti. Very versatile drum kit. If you watched any of my last, at this point it's gotta be like 20 or 30 videos. This is like my go-to drum kit, so definitely check it out. All right, so to get started, I got these hi-hats right here, just playing on every other step. Because this beat is like 155 BPM, it's like a faster BPM. And so when I'm working in faster BPMs, I personally don't like to add a tons of rolls or anything like that, but to kind of create some bounce and variation, what I do like to do is I'll play with like these velocities a little bit here and there versus just going every other one. It's like equal distance. I found that you get the coolest bounces when you drop one down a little bit lower. Sounds nice. You want like a repetitive 808 that's super heavy. It kind of like goes up and then drops down. Now I'm gonna add this change up, and this is one of the easiest ways you can add a change up to your beats. Perfect for this type of beat as it keeps the same energy. It doesn't come like completely out of nowhere. And most importantly, this is gonna keep your beats from getting boring and overly repetitive. So right here, I'm just going into my bank blacklight and I'm using my black bass. This is a bass I use all the time. Probably my favorite bass that I've ever used. All I'm gonna do here is first, just go to this setting and make sure that I set this number right here to the same number that's on the 808. So this is set to 3, so I'm gonna switch this to 4. And this is just gonna keep them from running into each other when I do add the change up. So as soon as the 808 switches to the bass, the 808 is going to completely shut off and the bass is going to play. So there's no like distortion or anything like that. And you have to do this. This is one thing you definitely have to do. And then what you're gonna wanna do, copy over the 808 pattern. And I just created a new pattern here where I just have the hi-hats and the clap playing. Then just paste it in the bass area. And then just go here. Go to Control L to extend all the notes and then just drop it down an octave. And so this is great with this vocal chop right here, as this is going to create like kind of like a natural break into the change ups. Super fire. This would be like a change up. I don't know. Start rapping super hard. Hopefully you learned a cool way to kind of change your beat up. And yeah, hopefully you subscribe as well. But I'll see you soon. Peace.